I became aware of an angel that seemed to be in charge of the whole area, which I called the landscape angel, and I used to ask general questions for that. For example, the landscape angel said that if you're trying to grow in sand, it's up to you as humans with hands and feet to do the dirty work on the land and make the land nutritious and rich. And the best way to do it in this situation is with a compost heap. And we had a lot of help with things like that with the compost heap. And the landscape angel also became my sort of intermediary with the whole new realm of beings which I was exploring, and introduced me, I think, first to an angel of sound, for example, and I got a message from a sound angel. I found these angels gave us the facts about gardening. They didn't tell us what to do, and I believe that was very deliberate, and for two reasons. One, that I didn't find that these nature beings had free will. They're at one with the whole of the rhythm of divinity, and they've always stayed in the Father's house, so to speak. I think the other reason is that they want us to make our own decisions, because by our choices we learn. That is the human way. And if they told us what to do, we'd just be robots. I also discovered why I particularly love the wild places. I was walking up the moors one day, and there was a little tiny wild violet just growing, peeping up among the grasses. So I attuned to it, and I got the tremendously powerful voice and energy, far more powerful than any of the great garden roses or any of the flowers that we looked after so carefully. And it talked on power, and it said it's because it had found its niche. It was doing what it was meant to do, untrammeled by any human thoughts or any thing out of its natural state, and therefore it was as powerful as any in the land, and suggested that we human beings, when we found our own place and our own purpose, would be just as powerful. And I found that confirmed when I went back to my native Canada, and the woods, the wild woods in Ontario. There's this brief period when after the snow melts and before the leaves come out, when the wildflowers are a tremendous canopy on the ground, just completely covering the ground with all types of wildflowers, small and large, which have a vitality and an energy and an exquisite enchantment which is far beyond anything I'd ever seen, even in fields of bluebells here or daffodils, which are so beautiful, but they're not wild. That sense of this energy of something that's come up naturally is so uplifting. It's just one of the magic of the wild places. I also learned from these angels about my human self. Whenever I tuned into them, I felt, for example, a sense of joy. And it was like a tuning fork effect. I would feel the joy, and I'd resonate back and emerge a more joyful being. And there's so many of the qualities of the angels when I tuned into, I resonated with, and I realized that I must have that quality within myself, or else I couldn't recognize it outside myself. Just as when I see a fault in someone else, I must have it within myself, or I wouldn't recognize it. And I realized that we human beings have all these angelic qualities. And through the years, I gradually realized that we're angels too. Every one of us. We just work differently. But we have all those capabilities and qualities within us.